How does someone from India see everyday life in Berlin? Graphic novelist Sarnath Banerjee captures his impressions in striking drawings that show the magic in the mundane.
Heading home from work on the subway. You sit opposite other people, yet they remain anonymous, each in his own little world. Then a stranger reads your thoughts, and anything seems possible. In Sarnath Banerjee's graphic novels, the everyday suddenly becomes a thing of mystery.
I actually betray your trust in me by creating this normalness of Berlin. But within that normality, something very slightly changes. And that is always in the area of fear.
The artist creates magical parallel worlds. Sarnath Banerjee is one of India's most innovative graphic novelists, and he's won many accolades. He often goes abroad to draw his reportages and has traveled to places like the Democratic Republic of Congo, China, and Brazil. For the 2012 Olympics, he created a gallery of losers to celebrate the sporting world's also-rans. They were displayed on billboards across London. Banerjee has brought his interest in the unspectacular and the incidental to Berlin, his home for the last year and a half. Here he draws for The Hindu, one of India's major newspapers. He sees himself as a correspondent with an art pencil who gives his countrymen a window on Germany.
When I first came to Berlin to live here, about 1.5 years back, I could not really relate to the city. A lot of the concerns here were not my concerns. So I took the role of a detective. I'm a detective, but there's no crime. I follow streets and people and things, and I investigate objects, and I pick them up and I look at them. I believe in possessed buildings, possessed streets. I believe that.
And time and again, Sarnath Banerjee is drawn underground.
Subways are like portals, you know. It's like it's almost as if like you get into one subway in one city, and you can get out from another subway in another country. It feels like kind of a magical space.
And it's this magic in the everyday that Sarnath Banerjee tries to capture in his work. As an outsider, he often sees details that locals no longer notice.
In the middle of the platform, there's a strange one single room. Could be a one-bedroom house for like a man who suffers from agoraphobia, fear of open spaces. So he pretty much spends all his life inside this room and only steps out at night to buy food or something like that. And you know, so I also look at the city as like this sort of place of kind of complete fantasy. This is where the unheimlich comes in, like almost familiar but not quite.
Unheimlich, German for uncanny, is also the name of his latest project. It shows the distance between people and how they create their own lonely little parallel worlds.
I create an atmosphere and tone, a sense of space, a sense of being there, a sense of complication of being in that particular situation, which is why I use the graphic form. Rather than giving long description of what was happening, I would draw it. And by drawing it, I also personalize. I have a dialogue with the space.
And here in relatively laid-back Berlin, this dialogue is very different than in his loud and hectic birthplace of Kolkata.
I actually was of the opinion that where I come from and German society, they can't be more different. The two opposite sides of the coin, and there's very little that connects the two together. but with time I realized that it does not have to.
It's precisely these differences which Sarnath Banerjee finds so fascinating, so there's plenty more detective work awaiting him in Berlin.